multiplying and dividing rational expressions. Starting at number 2, it says to multiply and state any restrictions on the variable. So let's take a look at it. So the first thing we're going to do is factor where we can factor. Factoring this numerator, we need to see what numbers multiply to negative 24 but add up to 5, and that will be 8 and negative 3. So that factors into x plus 8 and x minus 3. Multiplying the denominator, we need to see what numbers multiply to negative 15 but add up to 2, and that would be 5 and negative 3. So we'll have x plus 5 and x minus 3. Now I can pull out a GCF out of 5x and 25. They have a GCF of 5, so we'll have 5 times x plus 5, and that's all over top of that x plus 9. Now we got to find our restrictions before we go any further. So looking at my denominators, I set each of those equal to 0, so I'll have x equals negative 5, x equals 3, and x equals negative 9 as my restrictions. Because if x were any one of those numbers, you would have 0 in the denominator. Alright, so now we can simplify this. X minus 3 over x minus 3 becomes 1. Because these are being multiplied, and we have x plus 5 up top and x plus 5 at the bottom, we can say they become 1 as well. So multiplying across, we'll have x plus 8 times 5 over x plus 9. And that would be our answer, so let's type it in. So typing it in, we have up top 5 times x plus 8, and at the bottom we have x plus 9. And we said our restrictions were negative 5, 3, and negative 9. And that's our answer. Now we're going to divide rational expressions. So let's do that. Now when we divide a fraction, we have to flip the fraction upside down and multiply it. Okay, so we got to flip this upside down and then multiply. Before we multiply, we're going to factor where we can. Looking at the numerator here, we can factor this. So two numbers that multiply to 18 but add up to 9 are 6 and 3. So z plus 6 times z plus 3. Now factoring the denominator, two numbers that multiply to 42 but add up to 13 are going to be 6 and 7. So z plus 6 times z plus 7. Now factoring this numerator, two numbers that multiply to 56 but add up to 15 are 7 and 8. So z plus 8 times z plus 7. And now for the denominator of the second one, we take out a GCF of z, so we'll have z times z plus 3. Now it's not asking us to look for restrictions this time, so we can go right into our simplifying. So z plus 6 over z plus 6 becomes 1. The z plus 7's here and here also become 1. And the z plus 3's here and here also become 1. So now multiplying across, we're left with z plus 8 over z. So that's going to be the answer, so let's put that in. So our answer is going to be C. And that's our answer.